CBS News national security analyst Juan Zarate worked on counterterrorism under President George W. Bush. He's in Fort Lauderdale, Florida this morning. Juan, good morning.
Good morning, Nora. Good morning, Anthony.
Let's start first with these reports that some files may have been recently deleted from the pilot's flight simulator. What do you make of that?
Well, that's tantalizing information, Nora, because authorities are looking for any piece of data, any shard or thread or lead to give them a sense as to whether or not there was intent, premeditation, or a plot to try to divert the plane for a particular purpose. To date, they haven't found anything with respect to the pilot's backgrounds, and they want to find any piece of data that gives them a sense that this may have been pre-planned or plotted by the pilot.
Well, what do you make of this report out of a Malaysian newspaper that the captain selected 5 runways to practice on his home simulator? Is there a chance you think that this plane landed somewhere?
Well, it's in the realm of the possible, given the lack of information we have, Anthony. But given that this was a pilot, given that he was training on his simulator, it's not unusual that he would be practicing on different kinds of runways. That said, authorities are going to have to look at that to see what those runways look like, if they match with runways in the region and perhaps some smaller runways in the Indian Ocean that could give them some clues as to where to look.
Another tantalizing report this morning, as Seth Doan mentioned, this Thai military picking up on their radar Flight 370 that it was heading west away from Beijing. Why does it take 10 days for them to report that?
Well, I think we've seen fits and starts of this investigation, Nora, and I think this is a symptom of the lack of organization and direction of the investigation from the start. The Malaysians now have gone out to their neighbors, in particular in Southeast Asia and South Asia, to try to get as much information as possible, to include radar information. And I think part of this is the slow going and, frankly, lack of organization of how this has been undertaken. It's frustrating, and I think you've seen that frustration today.
Juan Zarate, thanks, Juan.